What's up everybody, it's Luke James, not the singer. You can hit up Luke at redmattersite.com if you're an indie artist and you want me to review your album and help you out with some promo. But this right here is a review for Logic's debut album, Under Pressure. Now if you don't know who Logic is, he's a 24-year-old MC from Maryland who has released a slew of great mixtapes, including Young Sinatra, Welcome to Forever. He was also featured as a XXL freshman in 2013, along with artists like Ab-Soul, Joey Badass, and Schoolboy Q. But let's jump right into this review. The intro is the perfect way to kick off this album. Over top of some piano and strings, Logic uses a sing-songy flow and gives us a look into his thought process when he spits, "I'm not defined by the sales of my first week, 'cause in my mind, the only way I fail is if my verse weak." Halfway through the song, his sing-songy flow goes into all-out singing, and when the drums kick in and the strings intensify, it gives me chills every time. It just feels so damn good and uplifting, and it fits the hook because Logic is spitting that he has achieved his goal, and you can too. It's a very positive and inspiring track, and at the end of it, we're introduced to Thalia, who gives a little bit of information throughout this album. The second song is called Soul Food, and on here, Logic really showcases his storytelling abilities. He raps about wanting to save his sister from an abusive relationship, his dad not being around, his mom struggling with addiction, and a lot of other things that he's gone through in his life. The beat switches up and intensifies for the second verse, where Logic really focuses his bars a little bit more on his rap career. He spits about being a man not defined by his race, his legacy, and the pushy fans who are never satisfied and always wanting more even though he gives his best. Buried Alive also touches on the stress that comes along with being an upcoming rap star, and I really like the way that Logic layered his vocals on the hook. And on the song I'm Gone, Logic continues to rap about his time in the rap game, and he also spits about how his music saved him from the rough environment that he grew up in. The beat has a very funky bass line and a smooth, airy feel to it, and I like at the end when Thalia says, "Making a single before your album is like putting together a trailer for a movie that you have yet to shoot." It just makes sense. Things get much darker on the track Gang Related. On here, Logic touches on the violence and gang activity that goes on in Maryland, where he grew up. And the second verse is extra dope because he kicks it from the perspective of his brother and shares with us a little bit of his brother's story. The darkness continues on Growing Pains 3, where Logic once again touches on his tough upbringing in a brutally honest way. It's not all serious on this album though. The DJ Dahi produced Never Enough is a simple and fun track with a throwback to Outkast on the hook, and it's just a song about rolling up and pulling up. And the track Nikki is an extremely clever song about dealing with nicotine addiction. There's also the mainstream banger, Now, which is featured on the deluxe edition. Now a lot of tracks stick out on this album, but the title track and single, Under Pressure, is 9 minutes of pure greatness. The first two verses are over top of a booming beat, and this is the song that we heard in the Under Pressure video, which is filmed as if it was something out of Call of Duty. After that, the beat mellows out and we're given a completely different song, which is a really cool narrative about Logic's family life. It has some voice messages from family members, and in his verses he does a great job of explaining to us the dynamic that is going on within his family. One of the things that I like best about this album, that there are only 2 features on the entire thing, and both of those features come on deluxe edition songs. There's Childish Gambino on Driving Miss Daisy and Big Sean on the song Alright. These are actually 2 of the weaker songs on the album, I would say, but they're still not really bad. But man, when Big Sean spit, "She doing tricks with her pussy, I guess she's a magician," man, no. But of course I'm going to end this on a positive note because this album is a 4.5 out of 5. I think with his debut album, Logic has really crafted a legitimate masterpiece. It couldn't be much better than what he's given us. The production throughout suits him so well, and he's just so honest about who he is, how he thinks, where he's from, what he's experienced, and so on. I also think that this album will have a lot of crossover appeal. I think it'll appeal to the underground heads as well as a mainstream audience, because at times it has a mainstream sound without feeling too forced or contrived or basic and simple. This album is just a perfect example of how you make a classic, by telling your story and bearing your soul. And on Under Pressure, Logic did just that. And I think it's easily a very strong contender for Album of the Year at this point. So that's my review for Logic's debut album, Under Pressure. I loved it. I highly recommend you check it out and support what he's doing. As usual, do all that good YouTube and social media stuff. Share, comment, like, retweet, follow me on Twitter, etc., etc. And I'll see you guys next time.